Bandicoot!
The way I could describe the first Crash Bandicoot game is simple, iconic, and good for its time. But obviously, we'll go into more detail as we go. Like, when it comes to this game in general, I'm not a fan.
Yes you are. Bro, I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm not a fan.
I don't know what it is about Crash Bandicoot 1 that I don't like. It's just, I don't like the game personally. Like, personally, I'm not a fan of the level design. I think it's too tight, too unforgiving, and too patience heavy. It's not like the game doesn't warn you that it's going to be patience heavy. Like, the very first level tells you that, hey, some jumps are gonna be super precise. But again, the level design gets so precise to the point where it feels like you're trying to park a semi-truck in a fucking alleyway.
Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god, I did that first try. Holy shit.
I will say this, the gameplay of all three of these games is super intense because of how tight the platforming is, especially in Crash 1. And I found myself being super engaged in the gameplay of how intense these jumps can get, despite me not liking the platforming design, which is fucking weird. And if you do keep dying over and over again, the game will give you an Aku Aku mask, which is basically an extra chance to fuck up. This feature is in all three games, by the way. Now, the boss fights in Crash 1, they're okay. They're not bad at all. I enjoyed them. Also, you cannot lose a life on the bonus levels. This is awesome for dumbasses like me.
Woo! Bravo, you fucking idiot!
Look, I promise I'm smart, okay? I know the 2 + 2 equals car door. Now it's time to talk about...
It's Crash Bandicoot 2, Cortex Strikes Back.
Now, Crash 2 is 100 times better than Crash 1, specifically because of the goated as fuck slide jump. The slide jump is so fucking good. It makes the platforming easier, and it makes it a lot less precise than Crash 1. While it does make the platforming easier, it doesn't mean it doesn't get difficult though. In fact, it's just as difficult as Crash 1. And you can get super creative with the slide jump. Like right here, I used it to get a shortcut. Yeah, I know, that's not much of a shortcut, but I know what is a shortcut. The boss fights in Crash 2 are also just as solid as the boss fights in Crash 1. Now, I haven't really mentioned collectibles until now, but in each of the Crash games, if you collect all of the boxes, you get a gem. In each of the games, you could do a speed run, and depending on how fast you go is what colored relic you'll get. Going back to the box collecting for a second, this is what happens when you miss boxes in Crash 1.
Yo, holy shit, he dead! Oh, he dead for sure! It's Crash Bandicoot Warped!
Can I just say that the warp room for Crash 3 looks pretty fucking sick? The jet ski controls, however, are not as sick. In fact, they're pretty fucking bad. It's like trying to open a door while fucking blindfolded. Speaking of weirdly controlling vehicles, the motorcycle levels. However, it was probably designed like this on purpose, so I'm gonna let it slide. Whee! By the way, I had like the worst fucking luck trying to beat these levels. It's insane how bad my luck was. No! That's so dumb. Bro, that shit makes such little sense. I can apply for food stamps and get approved. Like, what the hell? The boss fights in Crash 3 are more rewarding this time around, as every time you beat a boss, you get a brand new power-up that you can use in all the levels. Like a double jump that can be combined with the slide jump. Holy shit, this makes the platforming way more dynamic than the previous two games. Also, Aku Aku behaves really weirdly in the water levels. What the actual fuck is going on here? Now, when it comes to difficulty, I'd say the third game is definitely the easiest with air quotes, as it's still fairly difficult. I just found myself dying a lot less. That was probably because of the new abilities that you get from each boss fight. Speaking of dying, each game has a life system, and if you run out of lives, you get a game over and have to start the level all the way from the beginning again. And I get that they're trying to cater to the original games. The original games also had a life system. I feel like it should have been optional like it was in Crash 4. I know Crash 4 came out after this game, but still, they should have made it optional in this game too. Now, when it comes to the original trilogy in general, I am not the biggest fan of it, which is why this review took so long, because personally, I'm just not a big fan of the original Crash games. Yes, they're fine in their own, and yes, they're fun, but personally, I didn't like them, and I never had a moment in a review where the entire game I personally didn't like, only like certain bits and pieces. What I'm trying to say is that this game just isn't 100% for me. Now, something that I didn't mind at all about this game is its soundtrack. I will say it's pretty pleasant and it sounds really nice. Damn, making this review was weird.